It's Darlene Smith sharing his caring tips of the day during the virus. The virus has turned a lot of things upside down over the last 4 months. And one of the things we have in our lives is we have a lot of different buckets. And how do we balance some of these buckets? How do we fill these buckets up? You know, for a lot of people, the virus has turned their work bucket upside down, right? But for others, it didn't change at all. But during this time, we have many buckets in our lives. So, you know, we have the bucket with features here, you know, our spouse or partner. And if you don't have one, then that means you need to take that bucket and fill it up with something else. We have the work bucket, which takes a lot of our times. We have our family bucket. That's the family in your house and families not in your house, right? We have to give them some as well. We have our friends bucket. We have to fill that. And of course, don't forget the self-care bucket. That's usually the last one that we have. And yes, our funds, crafts, activities, hobbies that we have. This bucket. All these buckets will make you smile at different times. Are they ever in balance? Probably not. Do we rob one bucket to fill another bucket? Maybe we can. Maybe we take out of this bucket and we put it in this bucket. Or we take out of this bucket and we put it in this bucket. We now have this bucket, the work bucket. So that means something's got to come out of this bucket and then it's got to go over into that bucket because we only have so much time. Buckets in our lives are so important. They are going to be filled up and they're going to be drained. Does our buckets in each category get drained throughout our lives? Yes, they do. At different times, at different amounts, and time factors. You can't balance them all at the same time, but you can give them all some attention. It's different quality of attention as well. And it depends on where you're at. You know, we go through that roller coaster in our lives. And, you know, with the virus, it has been a roller coaster for a lot of us. You know, someone said, one thing about the virus, it's kind of like one extreme to the other. It's babies or separation, right? It's quite a difference. But a lot of things have changed. And I hope that they've changed for the better. And maybe you've realized, right? Particularly, you know, being at home, your family bucket got filled up even more because your work bucket was empty. So you were spending more time over here with the family bucket or spending more time over here with the spouse and partner. Or maybe you spent too much time over there and then you did this bucket here. The fun bucket didn't get anything. And then what happened to your friend's bucket? Well, then you needed your friend's bucket because these buckets got empty. But then what? The self-care bucket. Whew, that was a lot. It is a lot to have a balance. Think about it. Put down below, right? Is there a bucket that needs filling up in your life right now? Where is your focus on your bucket? Are they all okay right now? Is there one that's challenging? Yeah, there's always going to be one that's going to be out of kilter a little bit. One of the buckets. You only have so much energy. How do we fill them up? Sometimes we don't have anything in this bucket, so we're over here. What do you do with your bucket? And it has been challenging. And one of the things that I appreciate that hopefully these videos that we've been doing through this virus has helped fill up your bucket in one way with some of the tips, with some of the just maybe thinking about it. I know through this period of time, my buckets have been in different levels. Some of them, yes, have been empty. Some of them really need to be filled up again. Some of them are okay, but we do have an imbalance in the buckets. First is just being aware of what bucket needs some of your attention. And what can we do about that, right? How do you fill the buckets? Moving forward, we'll talk a little more about these buckets throughout. Appreciate Mickey sharing his bucket with me. Darlene Smith, Sharing is caring. How are your buckets?